I posted a poll on YouTube a few days ago and I asked you guys what video do you want to see with the golden palette next, and I asked if you want to see either 3 looks, 1 palette, or if you want to see the gold versus golden palette together on my eyes and kind of see how the formula is different or has changed. And by far, people just wanted to see more looks with this palette, so that's exactly what I did today. I did 3 close-up eye looks. The first one is a more glam kind of halo eye featuring one of those gorgeous gold shades. And then I wanted to show you something really soft and easy for an everyday look. And then we have the third look, which is on my eyes right now, and this is kind of my version of a bold glam look with a shimmery inner corner and a deeper outer corner. I know that so many of you guys bought this palette during the launch, so I hope these tutorials are helpful and inspire you to create some looks. And don't forget, if you want to check out this palette on Natasha's website, my code AngelaBright can save you some money. Now let's zoom in and get started on the first look. For some reason, I lost footage of my very first clip for this eye look, so I apologize for that, but all I did was take the shade Aria on a fluffy packing brush, and I'm packing that throughout my entire crease. Okay, so once I have all that shadow packed on, I'm going to start to blend out these edges right here with the tip of the brush, just to start to soften it out. And as always, I'm gonna link all the brushes that I use down below. I do use a lot of Sigma brushes and I do have a code with them as well, and that's just, again, Angela Bright to save you some money. Now on that same brush, I'm gonna pick up Veris, and I'm gonna start by packing this shade on the outer part of my lid. And then whatever's left on my brush, I'll bring into the inner part of my lid to give me a little halo eye effect. So I'm keeping the center of my lid blank for now. And then I am just softly bringing that shade up towards my crease to make sure everything is nice and seamless. I'm gonna move to the lower lash line before I finish up the lid just to get the general shape that I want. I'm switching to a short shader brush and more of the shade Aria, and I'm gonna run that across my entire lower lash line. And I like to make sure my lower lash line is connecting to my shadow on my top lid right out here. Now I'm going to take a small crease brush in the shade Epona, and I'm going to use that to soften this upper edge of this shadow right up here, just because it was looking a little bit harsh to me, so I want to soften things out. Also bringing a little bit of that shade along my lower lash line. Now I want to add one of the gold shades to the center of my lid, and I want that shadow to really pop, so I'm going to take a little bit of my NYX glitter glue, and I'm just taking a tiny bit of that on my finger, and I'm going to stamp that on the very center of my eyelid, which is where I'm going to place the shadow on top. And this just gives a nice tacky base for this shimmer to stick on top too. Okay, I got 2 gold options here. I'm kind of leaning towards the more like true gold, so I'm going to pick up Oro on my finger, taking about that much, and I'm going to pat that right on top of that NYX glitter glue. Yep, this is definitely a true gold color. That is so pretty. Now going back to my small crease brush, I'm just going to soften the edges of the gold so it blends in a little bit smoother to these brown shades next to it. You can also pick up a little bit more Veris, and that's going to help kind of blend out the edges of the gold. Now you could totally stop here, but I kind of want to make this like an intense halo eye. So to do that, I want to deepen up the outer and inner corner even more. So I'm going to take Log on that short shader brush, and I'm going to add that to the outer part of my lid. And I'm kind of starting on my lash line and then just very softly bringing it up. But I am keeping the shade nice and low on my eyes. And then also bringing that shade right into the inner part of my lid. So adding more of this darker shade just kind of increases the contrast of the look, which is going to make the gold shade pop even more. I'm going to go ahead and add a Log to my lower lash line as well. And then just taking my crease brush to soften out log just a little bit. Now I'm going to add a brown liner to my waterline. This is the NYX Vivid Rich Liner in Smoking Topaz. Now I'm going to pick up Aura on a pencil brush, and I'm going to use that to highlight my inner corner and a little bit under my brow. I went ahead and finished up this look with some mascara and lashes, and for my lashes, I'm wearing the Bright Lashes Flutter. I did also stamp some black shadow along my top lash line to help hide that lash band. And here's a final close-up of the first look. Now let's move on to look number 2. I'm going to take a fluffy blending brush in the shade Sandstone, and I'm going to blend this shade throughout my entire crease. And for the second look, I do want to keep it pretty soft and do more of like an everyday eyeshadow look. And I want this part of my crease, which is my upper outer crease, to be slightly deeper than my inner crease. So I am just adding a little bit more sandstone right up here. Now I'm going to switch to a smaller brush. This is a small firm crease brush with more sandstone, and I'm going to blend that across my entire lower lash line. And again, I want my lower lash line and my crease up here to connect right on this outer part of my eye. Now I'm going to take a flat brush with Maliko, and I'm going to pat that on my entire eyelid. And then I'm going back to my fluffy blending brush and just very softly blending around that lighter shade to soften it in my crease. You could keep this look completely matte and stop here, pop on some mascara and call it good, but I do want to add just one of the lighter shimmers in the palette. I of course want to add one of the shimmers, so I'm going to pick up Fizzy on my finger. So I just have a little bit of that on my finger, and I'm going to pat that right on top of Maliko. Just for a soft wash of shimmer all over, nothing too intense or crazy, but that is so pretty. I'm also going to put Maliko in my inner corner just to brighten this up. Now I'm going to take a little bit of log on a tiny angled brush, and I'm going to stamp that along my outer top lash line for a little bit of definition. Now I'm going to brighten up my waterline with a nude eyeliner. Since this is a softer, more everyday look, I wanted to show you what it looks like with just mascara. And for my mascara, I'm just wearing the e.l.f. Lash and Roll, but you guys know me, so I'm going to go pop on a half lash. I went ahead and popped on a half lash just right out here on the outer corner. And for that lash, I'm wearing the Bright Lashes half lash in Flirt. And here's a final close-up of the second look. Now let's do the third and final look. On my fluffy crease brush, I'm going to take the shade Teak, and I'm going to start this shade on my outer crease. So I'm going to start by building up the shade right here because this is where I want the most pigment, and then I'll move my brush throughout the rest of my crease. You can see once most of the pigment is out here on the outer part of my eye, I'll bring my brush in towards the inner crease. And I'm just doing little circular motions to help blend out this shade. On the same brush, I'm going to pick up Flesh, and I'm going to place this shade more in my inner crease since it is a bit softer than Teak. Now I'm going to switch to a crease brush, and I'm going to take a little mixture of Teak and Log. There's what it looks like on my brush, and I'm going to pack this on the outer part of my lid. And the reason why I mix these two shades together is because just going in with Log would be a little bit deeper than what I want. So that's why I mix it with Teak to soften it up just a little bit. These matte shades are looking very nice and smooth on my eyelid. Now I'm going to do something kind of similar that I did to the first look, where I'm going to take my NYX glitter primer. And again, you just need a tiny amount of this, and I'm going to pat this on the inner part of my lid. And again, this just gives the shimmer shade a really nice base to stick to. It's going to make it pop even more. Now I'm going to pick up Alchemist on my finger. There's what that looks like, and that's going to go right on top of the glitter primer. Now I'm going to take a little bit of Kava on my finger, and that's going to go on the very inner part of my lid, just to add a little bit more sparkle, and this will brighten up this area just a tad. Oh yeah, you see that difference? I love the sparkle that this Kava shade added. Now on my small firm blending brush, I'm going to take more Teak and run that across my entire lower lash line. And then picking up a little bit of Flesh, and I'm going to use that to soften Teak. Now I love a deeper outer corner, so I'm going to take just a little bit more of Log and just tapping that on the very, very outer part of my lid. And then on a short shader brush, I'm also going to add Log to the outer part of my lower lash line. And then picking up Maliko on my pencil brush, and that's going on my inner corner to brighten. I went ahead and did my mascara and lashes, and for my lashes, again, I'm wearing the Bright Lashes Half Lash in Flutter. And here's the final close-up of the third look. Here is what the full face of makeup looks like for the third look, and I love how this look turned out. For my blush, I'm wearing one of the new Huda Beauty liquid blush filters in the shade Strawberry Cream. And then on my lips, I'm wearing the Makeup Forever lip liner in Wherever Walnut with the Too Faced Kissing Jelly Gloss in Raspberry on top. I feel so pretty right now. I love these looks where it's like really glam and sparkly on the lids, but with the deeper outer corner. Like, this is like my go-to glam look. It's so pretty. One thing I noticed too while using this palette for the fourth time, if you remember my swatches, I said that the original gold palette swatched better than this one, but I'm finding that this formula seems easier to work with on my eyes compared to her older formula. Because I remember working with her past palettes, I really had to use them in a specific way. Like, I wouldn't be able to set my eyeshadow primer, I had to do more of a packing motion and then blend out the shades, but I find that with this newer formula of hers, I can just go in with the blending brush and start blending out the shadows, and it works really well. So I know there's been some mixed reviews on the formula of this palette, but I think it's easier to work with. I am still having so much fun playing with this palette. I truly do love the color story, and again, if you want to check it out on her website, my code AngelaBright can save you some money. Alright, that is going to wrap up this video, so I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe.